What's going on, YouTube? My name is Zachary Kramer with Progressive Payment Solutions, and welcome to the PPS Vlog. This week, we have an unbelievable guest. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for quite some time. Matt Fox. He is a business coach, and something that I focus on myself and that you should be focusing on is you have all this additional money in your business because you're saving on your credit card processing. What do you do with it? I always say the best thing is to invest in yourself. Matt Fox.
Hey, how are you doing, Zach? Thanks for
Um,
having me. I definitely appreciate it.
awesome. Yeah, no, I'm happy to have you here. So, the question on everybody's minds is it's the end of the year. What should these businesses or people be focusing on?
Yeah. So the number one thing that business owners are focusing on right now is ending the year strong. That's obviously the big thing, but it's planning ahead for 2022. So successful business owners right now are building out their performa, their plan for next year, the financials, and the KPIs, the key performance indicators that are going to tie back to the financials to make sure that you're hitting your goals, your forecast for 2022 and beyond.
Sorry about that. Um, so yeah, no, I completely agree. As far as goal setting,
Yeah.
do you have any tips on goal setting for businesses? Perhaps maybe, some businesses they don't really do goal setting. They just go out, they, shoot just anywhere they go. Any tips on that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess where I would start would be with the vision of your company. So this is your vision for the company, but also your vision personally. So you're running a small business, a mid-sized business. What is your goal? What is your vision? Are you trying to take care of your family? Is this a business that you want to pass on in 5 years? Are you looking to exit and sell this to someone else in the marketplace? Whatever that vision is. And some people really are driving this revenue number, but some people just want maybe it's more profit in the bank. Maybe it's
Absolutely.
more time with their family. So really understanding what your vision is and being very clear with that is priority one. So if we don't know that, we have to figure that out. Like this,
Okay.
over the next couple of weeks before the end of the year, we have to know what our vision is for the next 3 to 5 years. And as we work backwards, we need to be building goals and these KPIs and these little quarterly sprints, I'll call it, to hit these certain milestones so you can hit that 3 to 5 year goal, your vision for you and your family.
Absolutely. And I think that brings up a very important point. A lot of business owners, they start up a business because they don't want to do the 9 to 5 anymore, which they realize it's way more than 9 to 5 to have your own business. Or maybe they just want freedom or whatever the case may be, but they actually don't have a clear vision of where they want the business to go. And you see this a lot with the trades. You'll see, an HVAC guy or maybe a mechanic. They go into their own business. They want to run their own shop. They're getting all these clients, but they don't really know what to do after that. What's the next step? And I think that goal setting and figuring out a clear path is really what they want to do. And I think for 2022, that is a great goal to have.
Yeah. I mean, I talk to people honestly every day who don't know what those goals are, and that's okay. I mean, you brought it up, Zach. People go into business because maybe they're passionate about something, or this was the avenue to go. I've even talked with people who started their own business because that was they didn't have maybe this corporate job or anything kind of lined up, and they said, you know what, I'm going to go down this path and just do my own thing. And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I've generated revenue. I've kind of built this thing. Now what do I do? This actually has become a pretty good business. Now what do I do with it? And that's where whether it be me or you or someone else, like just talking about that is so important, because you can rely on your family or your friends to give you that, but getting just an outsider perspective on, hey, I got this business that's generating a couple $100,000, a couple $1 million now of business. What do I do with this thing? Where do
Yeah,
I take it?
absolutely. So, succession planning is a great way to kind of achieve your goals. It gives you kind of an end point and where you want to be. And that's it's really something that business owners don't think about, but they
Yeah,
need to.
absolutely.
And so my next question is this one might be a little bit of a curveball,
Sure.
but so it is the end of the year, and now we are still technically in COVID,
Hmm.
and the Delta variants kind of caused a little bit of ruckus the last couple weeks. Nobody really knows what's going on. So, God forbid there is another pandemic, or
Hmm.
well, not another, but another
Yeah.
lockdown or
Sure.
whatever it's going to be. What
Yep.
do these business owners need to do? Because I saw the first go around a year and a half, 2 years ago in March, a lot of businesses just shut down completely. And that probably was the worst thing that they could have done.
Yeah. Yeah. This is an outstanding question. And you could say this is COVID or anything else in the world.
Yeah.
There, what we need to be planning for in any business is worst case scenario, a likely scenario, and best case scenario, and have a very clear action plan for each of those scenarios. So when something happens, you get locked down, you realize you're not an essential business, or your entire team or whatever that looks like, you have to lay people off. We need a plan for that. And what does that look like financially for the business? What does that look like for you and your family? Can you still take care of business? But having a couple of different scenarios where it's almost like role playing. We're
Yeah.
actively thinking this. We're actively working these different scenarios. If I may, real quick, this is very similar to forecasting. So when you're making your business plan for next year, what you're basically doing is building your P&L for next year. And when you actually then, when the actual numbers come in and you're looking at your P&L, so end of January, you look at your P&L, you're comparing that to your forecast. That just becomes your report card. What you're
Yeah.
doing is really just measuring against what you thought you were going to do. And that forecast becomes this like role play, this mindset of like, what if this happens? What if this happens? And that's where we're trying to help people take their business, is like, just look at all scenarios and be ready to go.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Great tips. I really appreciate you coming on today and speaking to everyone watching. Um, if you are more interested in Matt or what he has to say, he wrote a nice blog post on our page, which I will link in the description below. And if you'd like to get in contact with Matt, I'll also put that in the description as well. So, Matt, thank you very much for joining us today.
Awesome. Hey, Zach, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. All right.